It is brunch you're having on 107.7. It's a good morning to you. If it's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, of course, you know that's where we put the emphasis. If it's happening across the world, we go there. If it's happening in our region, in the Caribbean, we go there too. Let me say a very good morning to my colleague, Cecil Tom. He's a senior producer at Nationwide Radio in Kingston, Jamaica, for the program Nationwide at 5. Cecil Tom, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning to you, Rennie. I'm very well. Let me say Happy New Year, January 15 days into the year already. I think this is the first time I'm talking with you since the start of the year.
And let me do that personally and on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago to your country and your countrymen. A Happy New Year to you and a prosperous one. It's good to know that the IMF says that you are well on your way out of what you are looking at, a very difficult economic position, but we are hoping for a more optimistic outlook to continue for Jamaica in this 2017, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Cecil Tom, thank you so much. Outgoing president of the Moravian Church in Jamaica, Dr. Paul Gardner, and his vice president, Jermaine Gibson, have moved away from all positions in the Moravian Church amidst the sex abuse scandal rocking the religious body in Jamaica. It involves a 14-year-old. So, Cecil Tom, give us the backdrop on this, because there is a large congregation in Jamaica for the Moravian Church. So go ahead and tell us, what is this sex scandal all about, and why we have almost the entire hierarchy of the Moravian Church up in total chaos.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again, Renee. Well, about 2 weeks ago, news broke of a 64-year-old pastor of the Moravian Church, Rupert Clark, being found by the police in what the police is describing as a compromising situation. And by that they mean that they found him with a young girl in bushes in a car in St. Elizabeth. And he has since been charged with having sex with a minor, which is akin to statutory rape in your country, in which there is a similar story with a pastor as well. What has happened arising from that is that he has since been granted bail, but there has been seemingly simmering tensions and controversy over the appearance of the principal, a very respected principal of one of the oldest schools in the country, Hampton High School for girls, Heather Murray, who actually is also a justice of the peace. Her presence at the court stirred significant chatter on social media and in traditional media. Her response to that is she is a friend of the wife of the pastor. She's a friend of the wife of the pastor. And she went to the church with a view to give her support. The irony is, though, that the wife was so devastated by the news of her husband being found in such a compromising situation that she did not appear at court. And arising from her court appearance, the media is reporting, or have been reporting, that Heather Murray tried to block media professionals from taking pictures of the alleged defendant. You know, so a lot of Jamaicans have been talking about how she should not have been there in the first place because she's a principal of a school for girls. How will persons who have such issues come to her and gain her trust, etc., etc.? Now, arising from that, Mrs. Murray has subsequently apologized to her girls, and she has apologized to the country, describing it as a breach of common sense to have, in fact, done what she did. I myself have concerns about how the media reported this particular matter. I don't think that she deliberately tried to block media professionals from taking the image or the picture of Rupert Clark. But what I saw on film was her saying, take me, we are more photogenic. You know, if anything, she was merely trying to divert the attention of the media professionals and not so much blocking them.
The voice you're hearing is... I'm sorry, go ahead, Cecil.
Yeah, but that pretty much for a week or so Heather Murray was in fact a story, when in fact the true issue ought to have been about the victim and indeed the pastor who has been caught up in this matter.
That is precisely where I was going, because on the one hand, it's good to talk about who blocked who from taking a picture and who is related to what. The essence of this story is we're looking at a 14-year-old from a family with some other girls there, a 14-year-old caught in a compromising position with the pastor. This is the issue, how long the abuse has been going on. The fact that it was reported to the Moravian Church and nothing was done, I think, is what has led to where we are right now with the president of the Moravian Church, Dr. Paul Gardner, and his vice president stepping down. In addition to, they have withdrawn from the National Leadership Prayer Breakfast, is my understanding. Is that correct?
That is so, Renee. The truth is, yesterday there was in fact a statement from the acting president of the Moravian Church, if I could recall his name now. Oh yes, Reverend Phyllis Smith Seymour, who is basically arguing that, with this sex scandal, it has really battered and wounded the Moravian Church. And what has happened, the leadership, the two persons, Paul Gardner and I think Jermaine Gibson leaving, is that there seems to be other fallout arising from this crisis, because there now is a statement from somebody, an allegation against them contained in a 7-page email, which has caused the church now to establish an independent committee to investigate those two pastors. So, the credibility of the church on the one hand is now under the microscope. And of course, as you know, we have a very, very a crime problem in this country. We rape is a very serious issue, and to have a pastor involved in this is really mind-boggling.
Two areas here. One, a minor problem is, as an understatement, that we having the same problems here. But I think, and I don't mean to be, unduly hard here, but to tell me that they are concerned about the damage to the Moravian Church, that, I'm sorry, the violinist refuses to play, because I am concerned about the child and her family. I am concerned that the church hierarchy had the information, sat on it, did nothing, and now you want me to be concerned about what it has done to the church? I'm sorry, that's the least of my concern right now, isn't it?
I understand precisely where you're coming from. The truth is, until the investigations are over, I don't wish to make any particular pronouncements on it, except to say, though, that another member of the Moravian Church, Dr. Canute Thompson, I believe is his name, has made certain allegations that in 2014 he brought certain information to the former leadership of the church, and they essentially did nothing about it.
To that is what I alluded, yes.
You're right in the one sense that the church would have had this information before, but then they failed to act upon it. I would like to see a speedy investigation into this matter. I know that the Reverend Clark goes back to court sometime in February, March, I believe. So we're all hoping and praying that the matter is expedited rather quickly.
One would have thought that the world learned from the shenanigans in the Catholic Church, but evidently not. My brother, again, it is good having you, Cecil Tom. From Jamaica. We will keep this...
Rennie, there is one important issue that I failed to have mentioned here in this particular saga, and I think you brought it up earlier, which is that this pastor who has been slapped with raping the 15-year-old girl, apparently investigations now underway seem to be suggesting that this is not his first time doing so, and in fact he has had other sexual relations or relationships with other female members of that family. As I understand it, the family where the 15-year-old girl comes from has 11 children, and the pastor would have been involved with at least 3 of them. I'm hearing about a 4th case. I cannot confirm that just yet, but that is the latest information arising from the investigation. The child, of course, has been taken by an entity called the Child Development Agency, and now is in state care. So the matter is deepening. We all wait to see what comes of it, but you can rest assured that it is not going to be going away anytime soon.
To the furthest extreme, I would try to be charitable. As you know, we must say the allegations against the pastor. I'm looking at the preponderance evidence that's coming forward, however, and it forces me to shut up. Let me leave this alone. Cecil, Cecil, we spoke about this earlier. You know my disquiet on this. Cecil, let me thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Cecil Tom, senior producer at Nationwide Radio in Kingston, Jamaica, Nationwide at 5. Thank you so much, my brother. You have yourself a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining us for brunch.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Renee. All the best to you for the day.
And to you too.